experiment, but because I don't know how I can, I don't know, I want to loop with the 8-string guitar. I might be on TV, or of course I might not. So I could.
Any second.
Any second now.
If you're not already. Well, it is past 6 o'clock, right? Yeah.
Well, that's the real time. That PATV time might be different.
Yeah, they are usually on. Oh, probably
And here we're at bar time, but it's coffee bar
you're
time.
already been on for a full minute already.
I've been on for a minute?
Yeah.
Oh, well maybe I better play the Tom's Guitar Show theme then. Here we go. Thank you, everybody. Welcome to Tom's Guitar Show. Show about guitars, guitar playing, and all things guitaristic. I'm Tom. They call me Guitar Tom because I'm often seen with the guitar. They call me on the phone. Although this is not a call-in show today, tonight, or whatever. It's live from Uptown Bills. But they asked me about the care and feeding of their guitar, what kind of guitar is right for them, how to play the guitar. They might ask other questions and things. They want to know about the guitarrone, the chitarra, the chitarrone. Anyway, I was just reading about another, it's like a theorbo, only it's like a 6-foot long neck on a lute, basically. The old days, that excessive, But anyway, banjos, balalaikas, bazookies, bacos, sextos, bandors, bandolins, drum horns, chordals, cornetos, pipe organs, piccolos, banjolins and banjoleles, mandolins and mandoras. Anything musical is fine. That's what we talk about here. That's what we do here. Politics, world events. Your own personality problems, that's what we're here for. But actually, this is not the call-in show. This is live from Uptown Bills. And so if you've got nothing better to do, and it's Tuesday, come on down to Uptown Bills, corner of South Dubuque and Lafayette Streets in Iowa City. So this is live on Tuesday. What's this, the 25th today? Or?
Today is the 25th.
The 25th, yeah. Okay, this is live on August 25th. Okay, and this is just a very laid-back little show. Sometimes we make a big deal of things, but this is not that kind of program this week. Okay, well, good one. Anyway, yeah. So this guitar is actually a La Patrie concert CW, and CW is not for country western, but for cutaway. So it's a Canadian guitar. It's made in Canada by Canadians, but French Canadians, Québécois. And what I've heard is the town of La Patrie, because it's made in the town of La Patrie, it's a little village, um, settled by people of French origin who would wear fur hats, apparently. 'Cause it's, and they, and so I've been told, and I haven't checked this, but I've been told a lot of things, and I've repeated this information many times, but the information I was told was that 80% of the people who live in that town actually work in the guitar factory. They're luthiers, and it's not exactly a factory like things, flying down the line. It's more, kind of hands-on stuff. But anyway, they use a lot of cherry wood in their guitars because there are actually a lot of wild cherry trees around there, and they have, this actually is mahogany sides and back, but and a different kind of mahogany neck, and an Indian rosewood fingerboard. But they do make guitars out of this, cherry and cedar and stuff that they cut down up there. But I guess they replant trees or something. They have a sustainable line of guitars. See, has a little branded with a little sustainable sticker on it anyway. But so I was trying to get this guitar for the last couple of months. I have a number of guitars from this company. I've known, well, quite frankly, I went to a trade show in about 1982, 83. I'm dating myself here. I don't mean I'm taking myself out to the movies and buying myself a bag of popcorn, but no, okay, so when I was still relatively young, I worked at a music company, West Music, to tell you the truth, and I went to a trade show, a NAM show. That's not Vietnam, that's the National Association of Music Merchandisers in Chicago. And I went around to all the guitar booths as a buyer, but as somebody with no authority, but I had a little badge. And the ones I was most impressed with, except for the Loudon guitars, which I got into, was made in Ireland. Northern Ireland, they're actually Protestant guitars. That's a long story. Anyway, so not the guitars, but the people who built them. But anyway, the Seagull, the Simon and Patrick, the Norman. In those days, it was called the Kamoraska, which is like a name of the local native people who lived in that area. I was very impressed with their guitars, and I tried to get the music store I worked for to buy those, and they didn't. They had, the guitars most of the guitars are made in Asia, except for the very expensive Martins. And yeah, there's a remote control down there somewhere. Anyway, so to make my short story just a little bit longer, a couple of years later, I started my own guitar shop, and then I started selling Seagull guitars, which is one of the brands of the Godin Empire. Just as this one is one of the La Patrie is one of theirs. But and I was the first dealer west of the Mississippi. But the receptionist, when I tried to call the factory in Canada, either couldn't or wouldn't speak English, and I had the advantage of my parents both being French teachers, so I could talk to her, and then I could get to the main guy who spoke English just fine. Maybe she did too, I don't know. But anyway, so I tried to get this guitar months ago, and then so we waited till after the NAMM show, because they'd have all these specials and sales and stuff, and they only had 14 of this model left, for sale in the world. And I waited, but then the NAMM show happened, and I think early June or something like that, and then the order was placed for this one and a bunch of other ones at the Musicians Pro Shop, which deals these Canadian guitars. And this story is getting kind of boring, isn't it? It's not really riveting, is it? But anyway, so, but yeah, it's about guitars, the show's about. But anyway, so I didn't get it. So it turns out what happened was that after the NAMM show, when most people go right back to their main office and fill all their orders, they went on a 2-week vacation, you see. Because they may be Canadians, but they're French Canadians. So anyway, so I finally got it last week. and I've been, gigging with it. It's actually it's a sort of mid-level guitar of theirs. I've had other ones, a lower level one and a top of the line one of this manufacturer. But this one is great, man, because it's got big throaty bass, highest highs, and the lowest lows. Huh? Yeah. And I just put it in a bag and go. If you watch my show, and I don't know why you would week after week, but I've gone through this thing of, I have a Taylor guitar, classical guitar, the big jumbo body, but it's really thin on the bottom, And I love to play it. It's got a very interesting neck on it and everything. It's cool to look at. Of course, Taylor is an American company, but this one actually is built in Mexico, which I didn't know they were making them in Mexico, but they did make this one in Mexico. And then I had a Breedlove, which is a company out of Oregon, Bend, Oregon, I believe, but this one was made in China, and I actually ended up selling it just a week or two ago. And because it was kind of thin at the bottom. It was really cool, beautiful, pretty to look at, fun to play, but didn't sound very good plugged in. This one is fine. Maybe I'm okay forever now, huh? Maybe I don't need any more guitars, huh?
Want to bet?
Yeah. Yeah. Bob says want to bet. Anyway. I'm standing right under a little bit of air conditioning. It feels great. It's just my guitars. Yeah. this it for us, or even something to contribute to the, I'll step aside here.
It looks like they set this mic for a tall guy.
No, I'm not that tall.
Oh, that one.
Oh, that one, yeah, you want this one.
Anyway, this is our last show before Labor Day,
Okay.
so I was thinking about people working. And I observed that if all the cars in the USA were lined up end to end, it would probably be Labor Day weekend. Another observation, if all the cars in the USA were lined up end to end, some damn fool at the back of the line pull out and try to pass. I have a few signs from workplaces. On a proctologist store, to expedite your visit, please back in. On a plumber's truck, we repair what your husband fixed. On a plastic surgeon's door, can we pick your nose? On an electrician's truck, can we remove your shorts? On an optometrist store, if you don't see what you're looking for, you've come to the right place. On a muffler shop, no appointment necessary, we hear you coming. On a veterinarian's door, back in 5 minutes, sit, stay. The front yard of a funeral home, drive carefully, we can wait. At a propane filling station, tank heaven for little girls, or grills. I read that wrong. Tank heaven for little grills. And the sign on a Chicago radiator shop, the best place in town to take a leak.
All right.
That's all I have. As I go away, perhaps you can tell us where we can hear you play in person.
All right, well, thank you, Bob. That was most informative and enlightening for us all. Yeah, where am I playing? Well, I tell you, Friday night, I'm going to be at the Tuscan Moon in beautiful downtown Kelowna, Iowa. And you know I'm about to yawn again? I'm sorry. I always do this about this time. Every night, every time, right? Okay. I find it boring. I feel better.
Now we have to do it too.
Yeah, everybody's going to do it now. Everybody get home. Okay. All right. So, yeah, Friday night I'll be at the Tuscan Moon in Kelowna, and this has been a wonderful time. It's been packed. People are having a really good time. They had a little switch over in the kitchen, and it's interesting. There are a lot of Slavic people now there because Andrew, the cook, has moved on. The chef has moved on, and now we have Z, who's a Croatian, and from Croatia, and I know where that is because I have friends from Croatia. Also, I liked geography when I was a kid, but it's right across the Adriatic from Italy, and if you don't know where that is, then it's time to hit the books. But so she's the cook now, and doing a wonderful job and having a lot of fun. But she brought in a couple of her brothers to help out. So we have those, and we have now I believe she's a Ukrainian. They speak Russian, I know, because I saw her with her family. Busser, a young woman named Natasha. So of course, and I have never gone up to her and said, "What about Musa and Squirrel?" I've never said that to her, and
I'll bet she's heard it.
she might have heard it. Yeah, probably. Well, maybe not. A lot of people don't even know about Rocky and Bullwinkle, which is a sad thing. But anyway, so place is overrun with Slavs now, which is okay with me because truly some of my best friends have been Slavs. But anyway, yeah, I'll be there Friday night. I'm supposed to start at 6, so I'll probably show up about 6:30, and supposed to play till 9, so I'll play till 10. And sometimes I play till 10:20. I played from 10:30 till 10. I haven't been playing late because the party keeps going on, and so get reservations. Definitely get reservations. In fact, if you want to be there Friday night, get reservations tomorrow, which is Wednesday. If you're watching the rerun on Saturday night, it's already too late. If you're watching the rerun on Friday night, excuse me, I'm having dinner. And anyway, okay. So now Saturday night, I'm not going to be at Tuscan Moon. They're actually having a big kind of Kelowna Days festival. If you want to attend that, they're going to be like all kinds of like little booths and stuff. You probably get your funnel cakes and things. And There'll be a beer tent apparently. Um, I will be in Fairfield at the Fairfield Country Club. Now, I don't think you can just go there. I think you need to get an invitation, but you can. I know people who know people who are going to wangle invitations there. So I'll be playing. It'll be a tapa and sangria party at the Fairfield Country Club in Fairfield, Iowa. So that's my story. But of slightly more interest as far as the calendar of events is that on Saturday, we're going to have an Iowa City Classical Guitar Society get-together here at Uptown Bills Coffee House, or south of Butte and Lafayette Streets, down by the tracks, easy to find. Not a lot of free parking, but some free parking, and after 4:30, it'll be Saturday at 2, but I mean, you could park over there, right, at the university. You can find a parking place, and if you live downtown, you can walk here. But anyway, we're going to do a classical guitar shindig, and we're going to try to build this up because we meet to play classical guitar for each other and with each other. And I have a notion that, well, okay, so on the October, or for the October Tom's Guitar Show special from Uptown Bills, we're going to have a classical guitar blowout. Now, right now we're trying a new camera system and a new sound thing, and we're going to work all the bugs out of it so we can have featured soloists. We have a couple of classical guitarists we're grooming. We'll have some other ones too. Now, if you want to play classical guitar, or you want to listen to classical guitar, or you just want to hang around with classical guitarists, there are all kinds in this world, you know. People. Anyway, you know, come on down on Saturday. But we're going to have we're going to put at 2 o'clock. Yeah, 2 o'clock. 2 in the afternoon. Saturday, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, Uptown Bills Coffee House, Iowa City Classical Guitar Society. You don't have to play guitar. You can just sit and listen and hang out if you want. You could have some coffee or something. Try not to have a milkshake though while we're playing, because you know. Anyway, because you got to kind of grind those up. Anyway, but the October show is going to be here. I mean, on the last Tuesday of October is going to be a classical guitar extravaganza, and I just booked the Iowa City Public Library Meeting Room A for March 31st for a concert. So what we're doing is we're grooming we're grooming some classical guitarists to have their first serious concert with programs in people's laps and stuff, where nobody's you know, eating popcorn and you know, whatever, eating pizza, drinking beer, fist fighting, whatever. It should be a real like concert. So we have a couple of classical guitarists whom I hope will be here on Saturday, and they'll be featured artists on the October Tom's Guitar Show special here. But anyway, so that's my announcement. The other thing, since I'm nattering on about this, is I'm strongly considering making Tom's Guitar Show into a nonprofit organization. And
as if it isn't.
yeah, well, it doesn't make a profit, but officially. And you know, a couple of the main projects of this would be not only to do my show and everything, but outreach things, people playing in like hospitals and schools and so forth. The classical guitarists primarily, but other things. So the Iowa City Classical Guitar Society could become a project of Tom's Guitar Show. Or it could be that the nonprofit would not be. Well, you made him do it. Okay. Young Tom just yawned and nodded. I wasn't that far from it anyway. Anyway, what am I nattering on? Okay.
Like the wave.
Yeah, that's contagious. It's human empathy. Better known as monkey see, monkey do. Anyway, so, you know, as a project, you know, like Classical Guitar Society to go out and actually promote classical guitar playing. Because, you know, most people don't know what it is, they haven't really heard it. And they don't have the same kind of relationship with music, but I found even just this last week, kind of turning people on to classical guitars. They find, you know, they find something that they love that they didn't really know existed. You know, and what classical guitar is an nylon string guitar, like this, usually now with a pickup and a cutaway, that one plays with one's fingernails, and requires quite a bit of education. It's a fine art. It's like the fine art of guitar playing. You know, and I'm not saying that. You know, like okay, rock and roll on a Les Paul is an art form, but it's not like a fine art like the classical violin or something like that. It's a different thing. It's a different kind of thing, you know. I'm sensitive to this because I'm about to start teaching another semester at Co College, try to promote classical guitar heavily. Because it's an educational background for a college student who plays guitar, I think it's a wonderful thing. I mean, a little challenging, but when you read music and stuff like that, you know. Anyway, so that was one of the projects I want to do. So if anybody, you know, has any ideas about this or would like to get involved, I'm strongly considering trying to start a nonprofit organization dedicated to guitar. And the one that's been going, I keep coming back to is having to be Tom's Guitar Show, because I've been doing this show for 21 years. The first Tom's Guitar Show came out in 1990, 25 years ago. It was just a half hour, you know, taped and edited how to play guitar show, and I made like 6 episodes. But I've been doing this particular show, a live format, for 21 years now, and I've done over 1,000 shows. So I figured, if anything I do, I mean, think of all the thousands of people who've seen my show for about 2 seconds while they're flipping channels. But still, you know, after all these years, people come through town. Back when people used to call on the phone, we used to get calls from like motels in Coralville. You know, people who are traveling across America, and they, you know, stopped in Coralville for the night, and they flipped around the channels, and they said, "What's this?" And they called in. So who knows? Anyway, so somewhere somebody's watching this. Maybe they're watching the live stream. I know people in Turkey watch my YouTube. When they see, like, late tonight, I'll be on YouTube, and I've looked at it. The people in China and Turkey and places like that watch it a little bit. So anyway, that's my message. I'm going to play in Kelowna Friday night, Tuscan Moon. Make reservations. Should be a wonderful night. I'll be at the Fairfield Country Club Saturday night, but on Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock, Iowa City Classical Guitar Society. And we have some projects coming up. We're going to do a TV program at the end of October, and we're going to do a concert at the very end of March. So, yeah, show up. Anyway, so I'm going to play some music, but young Tom, you have something you'd like to share with us?
Perhaps.
Okay. This is the
Our host.
our host here at the coffee house. I'm going to step aside here and leave you to it. If you have anything humorous, that'd be fine, but, you know, it's a family show. So.
Well, first of all, as always, thank you for joining us. It's very nice to have you here each month for the Tom's Guitar Show. We've been doing this for 5 years now. You realize?
This?
Yes, once a month for 5 years.
It's been 5 years?
Yes, we started in 2010. And so we're really thrilled. And we're thrilled with the new arrangement, too. The cameras no longer are set up for each show, but they're actually set into the corners of the coffee house. Okay. So we can do other things, too. And we're talking about doing this same kind of thing with our open mic on Thursday nights. We're particularly excited about live streaming so that people can watch it on their laptop or their iPad or their phone, yeah, if they wish. So we've noticed gradually over time that we've gotten to the point now where 3/4 of the people who access our website are doing it on their phone. So just don't do it when you're driving, please. All right, so let's see. And we're also excited to be the host for the new Iowa City, or renewed Iowa City Classical Guitar Society, again, as Tom Nothnagel said, Saturday afternoon at 2. And that completes the circle. We actually have something every Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock. First Saturday, we have an Irish music session at 3 o'clock. Second Saturday, we have community folk singing at 3 o'clock, and that's in cooperation with the Family Folk Machine. Third Saturday, it's all ukuleles, all afternoon. We have the Ukulele Social Club here, and they meet at 4 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. And then the fourth Saturday, or the last Saturday, is the classical guitar group. So, society. It's more than a group, it's a society. So, thank you. Let's see, mention a couple of other things. We have music, of course, every Saturday night. And this week it's a quartet called the Fairlings, local group. And let's see, Stacy Webster is in that group, and Benj and Nicole Upchurch are in that group. There's a 4th person too. They got their start here. They first played here in thrilled to have him back. Also, we have a new friend. Almost everyone here has seen Elmo. And by the way, there were a lot of discussions with Elmo. He's decided not to go to HBO. He's staying here. And he's bringing with him Grover and Prairie Dawn. Prairie Dawn isn't really well known, but she wants to host a show on PATV. She's thinking maybe if the Smartest Island show is revived, she'd like to be one of the hosts. So
Prairie Dawn.
Prairie Dawn, yeah. So if you could use a Muppet as the host of the show, she'd be good.
We've done worse. Yeah.
And also, we've acquired a tiger down next to Elmo. It's a tiger. That's Rory the tiger, which has brought up some discussion. What's the worst nickname you could give a tiger? Spot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see, what else was there? A guy came in the other day and said he'd been at Sycamore, the theaters there, at the Sycamore Mall. It's not Sycamore Mall anymore, except with most of us. And he looked over and he thought he saw a tiger sitting near him. He looked over, the guy said, "Are you a tiger?" "Yeah, tiger." "Well, what are you doing in the movie theater?" He said, "Well, I read the book, I liked it, I thought I'd see how the movie came out." So, I think that's it from me. Oh, one last event to invite you to. We have our Ralston Creek Fair. It's going local this time, and it's on Saturday, September 5th, Labor Day weekend. So you're all invited to come, and thanks for giving me a few minutes on the show, and thanks as always for joining us.
Yeah, well. Yeah. Thank you, guys. That was our host, Young Tom, and So just putting this La Patrie guitar. I guess around here you call it La Patrie. La Patrie. But patrie is it's like the, French and English are really closely connected, and if you see, patrie is like the homeland, the home, the patriotism. Yeah, la patrie. The la is the, patrie is the home, the homeland. Anyway, a little town in Canada somewhere, in Quebec. How you see in your country? Anyway, I grew up with all these people speaking all these different languages all the time, and it seems pretty normal to me. But I've noticed something, like I've known people, I've lived in Iowa City most of my life, let's face it, a couple of years in France, maybe a few years in California. Some traveling around and stuff, living in my car. I had a Fairmont station wagon I called the Fairmont Hotel a long time ago. Rather uncomfortable place to sleep, but sure beats the ditch, anyway. But, it's like, I've known a lot of people who come to Iowa City for a little while, which is the interesting thing about this town is that people, they say 20% of the town kind of changes every year. New people move away, and old people move away, new people, some people move away, some people move in. Because of the university and the hospital and everything, and there's temporary, people go to school, they have a temporary appointment, something like that. But I've met a lot of people from New York, for instance, who, for one thing, it used to be anyway, they had trouble feeding themselves because they couldn't find a restaurant they liked. So, well, around here we go to the Hy-Vee supermarket and get a little basket, and a canvas bag, and we buy food and take it home and cook it. And I said, what? I didn't know you could do that. So, if you live in Manhattan, it's really hard to, feed yourself unless you know the right restaurants. And you have to know the waiter and the maitre d'. Anyway, but the other thing is that your experience with foreigners might be different because, I've known people with foreign accents all my life ever since I was a little kid. You come over to the house, French accents, of course, because my father was in the French department, and chairman for 10 years, actually, and Italian, French and Italian, the Romance languages, so there were French people and Italian people and people who spoke French and Italian coming over to the house, and there are other people, too. There are always Germans around and stuff, and, of course, there are people from China and India and Russia and everywhere. And these would be my friends, and some of my classmates in school were from these other countries, but so sometimes the New Yorkers, they had this sort of feeling they didn't like people with foreign accents and stuff because a lot of times they were, the cab driver or something like that. They had some sort of, not that I ever have anything against cab drivers because I actually drove a cab for a while myself. But, so what we have here, of course, are people from other countries who are part of the brain drain. I've had good friends from Nigeria, for instance, who came here to go to college and they didn't want to go back. So it's kind of interesting to live in a town like this. Somebody's watching this on YouTube, wonders, what I'm doing here. I'm playing guitar at Uptown Bills Coffee House. I just think this guitar is really nice. You think it's nice? It's nice. It's nice. Yeah. It's nylon. I've been doing a lot of work with. I've been doing a lot with Stratocasters and Telecasters, Fender guitars, solid body electrics, and playing them, and not really rocking very much, different kinds of music on them, but and I don't want to have to choose what kind of guitar I'm going to play. For life, if I could only have one guitar, because I can have more than one guitar. I don't see a reason to limit myself. Some people, if they only can have one instrument because, but I like to be able to switch around. I think they complement each other. My playing electric guitar complements my classical guitar. Playing blues makes my classical guitar better. Playing classical guitar makes everything better. Not to say that playing blues doesn't make everything better too, but there's a balance. So I'll probably do a big push with the electric guitars, the Strats and Tellys and all these things that I've discovered. And music in a nice little white tablecloth restaurant. A guitar like this really gets the message out. Sure when this show is going to end. Did you watch like a minute or about 2.5 minutes left? But then again, when you thought it was 8 seconds, they said it down right there.
They're about 30 seconds ahead of me. I gotta figure it out now.
So about
2 minutes right now.
about 2 minutes right now. Well, okay. Just to be sure. So I'm going to say, so Saturday at 2 in the afternoon, Uptown Bills Coffee House, Iowa City Classical Guitar Society. You like classical guitar? You want to play classical guitar? Do you play classical guitar? Come here. We're going to do some stuff. We're going to